trap you. They trap you, they demoralize you, and they keep you in a state of fear and compliance. This topic is just crazy to me, and unfortunately, it's not surprising at all. Now, if you don't know, which I'm pretty sure everybody does know, because this guy's been on our screens since I was a kid, and since a lot of our parents were very young as well, if you grew up in the UK, and the fact that the BBC does broadcast worldwide, internationally, this guy's face is recognized, and this guy has essentially been given a slap on the wrist for literally the most heinous crimes possible. The entire issue with this is, what sort of message does it send out? Now watch this video of this woman who had a breakdown reacting to the situation, and that has since gone viral.
But I think they are the most important things in the world. They are the most important things. So when someone has pictures of children being spend a single day in jail, I don't understand how that's justice. And I'm really upset. Because like I said, I think children are the most important things in the world. And I'm angry, and that's why I'm crying. I'm so angry because it's frustration, and it's like, what can we do? What can we do about it? When we don't have a justice system, when they'll lock people, like you go out and you protest and you get angry, or you make threats against paedophiles, they'll come and lock you up. They'll come and lock you up for saying something. There are people sitting in jail because of Facebook posts right now. Like literally sitting in jail for 2 years, 3 years. Some of the people that follow me. And this fucking guy has got off, and the people that sent him, the person that sent him the pictures has got off.
Now let me ask you something. Do you think this is not intentional? These sentences are extremely intentional. Why? Because they send out a message. Imagine now someone with that notoriety was a drug dealer, for example, right? But they would give him 25 years. Say it's like a rapper and he gets caught with drugs and all that. That judge and the media would want to make an example out of him. Specifically, the legal system would want to. Why? 1, for sensationalism, 2, for their own resume, and 3, to actually send a message, right? But this is why the UK is in such a mess. Literally, when you give out sentences for crimes like this, which essentially isn't even a sentence, suspended sentence means he's not going to spend even 1 day in a jail cell, right? Now, you give out sentences like this, it demoralizes the public so much, because it makes you think, what kind of country do I live in? Who is in charge? Who is running this? What kind of legal system is this? They demoralize you by sending out sentences like this. They spit in your face by sending out sentences like this. They mock you. They basically say what that woman's saying in this thing. Your children cannot and will not be protected in this country. How can they be when you let someone in that position of power do what they did and not even get a day in jail? That is absolutely disgraceful. There is no justice whatsoever. Now, moreover, legally speaking, sentences have to go by sentencing guidelines. So the reason why he hasn't been sentenced to jail or whatnot is because previous cases have set precedent whereby it's allowed that this minimalistic sentence can be given out to him. Again, now that makes you have to ask questions. How on earth can crimes like that be justified with those types of sentences? That is definitely not a deterrent. In fact, it's the opposite. It is an encouragement. It's an enabler. We now live in a country in the UK where it's always been like this. But now it's so at the forefront and so exposed that people have completely woken up, especially in the past 4 years, right? But people are seeing now. Like, literally, if you want to deter crime, all you have to do, well, it's not all you have to do because there's root causes, but one of the biggest things you have to do is provide serious sentences, no matter how harsh. You go to Dubai, nobody steals. You can leave your phone. I done it myself. I left the phone on the beach for over 2 hours. I came back, it wasn't even moved. It was still there. People everywhere. Not one person touched it. Why? Because the sentence that's in place is so severe and so harsh that it acts as an absolute deterrent, and it doesn't go on. Because they don't want theft in Dubai. Now, remove your personal opinion on Dubai, whatever, or fake city that people think. Imagine now in the UK, we had those sorts of laws in relation to knife crime and specific heinous crimes like these. Do you think these crimes would really be going on? Because people are sick and they still have their fantasies and desires, whatever they want to call them, their illnesses and their perversions that they want to do, yes, it will still go on, but it will be on a much lower level. It will be less frequent. Meaning what? More children are protected, which is essentially the job of the state and the legal system. But the legal system and the state doesn't want to do it. So if the legal system and the state doesn't want to do it, why? Why doesn't it want to protect the children? And the reason why I'm even making this video is because I like to spread messages that help open people's eyes. Because for years I was researching this stuff and looking into all sorts of things like this, and a lot of people didn't believe me or were extremely skeptical when I would question things or reference older cases or not go with the status quo and just believe everything. But now it's like more and more of it is coming to the forefront. Same stuff with this Diddy and all this type of stuff that's going on right now. This case basically showing what he was running in the music industry, some Epstein style thing. Because life's about power. It's all about power. So the people in power do these things, which is why they don't want these harsh sentences out there. Because whenever someone of their own gets caught up in it, like this guy, Mr. Huw Edwards, he's one of their guys, he's caught up in it, he's able to get away with it. It's why people like Diddy get away for so long, why people like Epstein get away for so long. Because when it comes to sex crimes, the sentencing will always be extremely low, so that until shit really hits the fan, they're able to get away with it. Now on the flip side, when it comes to stuff like with knife crime and all that, it's a demoralizing thing. They want the state to be destabilized. They want the place to be reckless. Because the sale of knives and all that, where's this coming from? Go check the websites and that, where all these knives are coming from. It's all allowed. If anything, the message you can take away from this video is to understand that all this heinous shit you see in the world, this nasty stuff that makes you feel sick to your stomach, it is there on purpose and it is allowed. It is not by accident and is there to demoralize you, keep you in a state of fear, keep you in a place of hopelessness essentially. Because look, that woman, her reaction is hopelessness. I'm telling you, it ain't hopeless. The reason why it's not hopeless is because you have to always fight against it. You stand up against it, you call it out, and you do your own thing. You have to become as self-sufficient as possible. Yes, everything essentially is controlled, but for a big majority of people, you can create the life. You can create a life whereby you have a huge amount of control, that you can be self-sufficient, that you don't need to rely or be afraid. But for so many people who can't be in that position because they have to work a job that they can be fired from, for example, what's going on nowadays, firing people over posts on Facebook and Instagram and whatnot, and they're trying to literally criminalize memes and posts and all that, shows you what type of state we're heading into. And if people just keep taking it and they keep lying back and don't speak out and don't physically build things around them so that they have power, because talking's only so good, you've got to be doing stuff in your own life that's giving you more power so you have more freedom to speak out. Because look, if you are able to be in a position by the time you're 40 years old and you have a whole bunch of money in your bank account, you got a whole bunch of assets, you got a whole bunch of properties overseas in different places, you will be more inclined to speak out because your back isn't so against the wall. You're not in such a pressure cooker. Why do you think they want people so poor and so broken? Because if all you can think about is, oh, I gotta pay the bills, bills, that's everything. It's consuming your bills. You can't step out of line because now your kids are gonna starve. Now the home is gonna get repossessed because you mortgaged it and you fell for that trap. That is what you need to realize. And I'm glad I realized it at a young age because it enabled me to pursue freedom. And there's the argument, like I said, freedom is only freedom to a certain extent based on the amount of control that there is. But we don't need to go that deep in the rabbit hole right now. You can actually gain freedom in this life. And you can stand up and be against this shit and not need to suck it up and eat it and be quiet like a lot of people are. Anyway, man, if you haven't seen this channel before, this channel here is more about social commentary, reactions and mini documentaries about current trending topics and whatnot, and hopefully videos of value and worth watching. Whereas my personal channel, which I just started again, which is more niche, is more specifically about creating freedom in your life so that you can then go on and create the life you desire. So it revolves a lot around self-improvement, psychology, philosophy, metaphysics, because metaphysics is essentially how this whole universe operates, but you're never taught that in school. So a lot of that type of stuff that can help benefit you in your life, because it's benefited me and it's benefited people around me. So I know what I'm talking about and I've seen proof of it firsthand, secondhand, thirdhand, so forth. And that's just something that I'm passionate about and genuinely like doing. So I have that personal channel over there. And unlike a lot of other people's channels and all that, if things ain't going right, I'm gonna speak about that because I feel like we learn so much from losses and not just wins, because our pain can be somebody else's healing. So yeah, man, if you want to check that channel out, go, link is in the description below. Appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure you'll find a lot of value on there. Anyway, man, remember, we all have a choice in life. Elevate or deteriorate. Love.